Connecting cultures. This is the bridge.
everyone, that was A Play China with their music titled The Painting of Firecrackers and Mandrill. Such a thrilling performance to kick off our live stream concert today. And I love your enthusiasm, I love their energy. If you take a closer look at the music elements they're using in the video, there are traditional Chinese music instruments and also modern ones like drum, bass, and guitar. What an interesting fusion, isn't it?
Yes, Mohan, you are right. And these talented young artists in China have found a way to build a bridge and what's from the past to present. And through music, they are telling us a story from thousands of years ago. It's a story about Mandrill monster. Let's hear more from A Play China.
嗨，大家好，我是一浙七乐派的朱金泰，欢迎加入丝路美韵，让我们穿越时空，美美与共。中国是一个非常注重节日的国家，最大的一个节日就是中国的新年，我们叫过年。这个年呢，实际上是年兽的意思，我们叫山魈。大家为了平安吉祥，又放鞭炮、敲锣打鼓，用热闹来驱赶山魈。《爆竹山魈图》这首曲子就描绘的是过年的一番奇幻的热闹的景象，希望你们喜欢。
And that was A Play China's founding member, Mr. Zhu Jingtai. He actually talked about the origin of the sound, the inspiration. It's actually based on a Chinese folktale. I think everyone knows the story here in China.
Definitely.
Yeah, Akil, you have lived in China for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the story?
Yes, I do. And a mandrill, like animal, lives in forest. It comes to human, and the end of the each year,
Yeah.
and
Brings
brings plague. And to tackle this animal, to fight with this animal, humans found a way to scare him off by setting off firecrackers like this. And you know, Mohan, this performance reminds me that just in few days we will be celebrating Diwali festival.
Right.
And Diwali is the festival of lights, and it's the biggest and most popular festival in India.
Yeah.
And we celebrate this Diwali with great pomp and show, and involves a lot of firecrackers and fireworks.
Yeah, so there are so many similarities
Yeah.
between the Chinese culture and the Indian culture.
Right.
And also we want to extend our wishes and best wishes and greetings to you from here, the studio in Beijing. We wish you a very happy Diwali festival. And going back to the music we just heard, I think A Play China really offers their spin on the old story because they have their own interpretation. So in the music, instead of fighting against the monster, they are celebrating the new year with the monster.
Yeah.
It's so creative.
Definitely, and that's truly impressive. I love how they combine ancient culture with a new interpretation, and the bridge is music. Everyone, if you like and if you enjoy the performance, please stay tuned because we have a lot more to share with you. Welcome to our live streams concert, The Bridge, brought to you by CGTN, CMG Hindi, CMG Tamil. I am your host, Akhil Parashar.
And I'm Mohan. Today we're going to show you lots of wonderful music and rhythm as an effort to bridge two very different countries, that is China and India. They both have long-standing art music history and foundation, and it has been evolving and thriving for thousands of years. Today we will have artists and musicians from China and India perform their unique musical instruments. You can have plucked strings like sitar, pipa, and percussions like tabla, kanchira. You might not know every piece of musical instruments, but let yourself enjoy and immerse in the music. And we also have a lot of singing and dancing as well, so stay around and stay with us through all platforms of CGTN in both Chinese and English, as well as the China Plus Facebook page.
Well, coming up next, let's welcome well-renowned sitar artist Mr. Dhruv Bedi and Mr. Uma Shankar. Mr. Dhruv Bedi began to learn sitar at the tender age of 4 and has collaborated with different genres of music. And Mr. Uma is one of the most a well-renowned few artists who perform on the older style of the instrument. They will play together with tabla drum artist Mr. Vivakar Chaudhary, and the three masters perform you Rag Kedar.
The music we're listening to is called Raga Kedar. And Akhil, I have a question for you, because when I'm skimming through the world of Indian music and dance, I often see the word raga.
Yeah.
So what does the two words mean, raga and kedar?
Yeah. Okay, let me explain you about rag. What is rag? Actually, rag is such a rule of ascending and descending of notes of by which music is composed, and it is a melodic framework for improvisation in Indian classical music. And you know, in Indian classical music there are different kind of rag. There are different type of rag, such as rag bhaira, rag kedar, rag deepak, and all rag have their own characteristics. You know, rag deepak, it is said that it had the power of creating fire, and all these rags, they are played on different times, different mood, like this rag bhairav. Rag bhairav is playing in morning time, okay, and rag deepak is playing in evening time, because it's power to create fire.
Right.
So in evening we need fire. So like this, and you know, rag kedar, these three masters are playing this rag kedar.
So what when do we listen to this rag? Well,
Yeah.
when do they play the rag?
Actually, rag kedar, it's devotional music, and this rag invoking the spirituality of Lord Shiv.
Right.
And I think you maybe noticed that in this rag kedar, there is a repetition of two notes, sa and ma.
Which is like the music notes in do,
Yes,
re, mi,
it's
fa,
a
sol,
musical
la,
note.
si,
Yeah,
do.
sa and ma, like this.
Da, da, da,
Sa, ma, sa, ma.
Right,
So
right.
this music, it's calming sound and sublime beauty, invoking the spirituality of Lord Shiv. And you know, it is said this music is loved by Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna played this rag kedar on his flute, and everyone was mesmerized.
Wow,
Like
this is
this.
amazing. I think
Yeah.
behind every piece of Indian music, there is a cultural meaning behind it,
Right.
and there is a spirituality linked to the music.
Yeah.
It's so peaceful, it's so calming. We really enjoy the music. And a little reminder for you guys, this musical piece is 13 minutes in length.
Yeah, and you know, there are different versions of Rag Kedar, and there are different time duration. It's a 13 minutes. It can be playing for half an hour, for more than half an hour, for 1 hour, like this.
Right.
Yeah.
So it could be developed into even longer period of time.
Right.
So it's perfect for meditation. If
Yeah.
you think about the spirituality and the story behind, it's so beautiful. So we won't take up too much of your time. Let's just immerse ourselves in the melody called Raga Kedar. And that is an improvised musical performance titled The Raga Kedar. And I really enjoy their performance.
Yeah.
And I see their fingers is flying on the
Right,
strings,
right,
and
right.
they're so enjoying.
And so much energetic also.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah, and they're smelling when they're playing the instrument.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. And we also have an incoming comment from our audience, Kenny Yan. He says, it's great to see the mix of culture in one music performances. Indeed,
so nice.
Truly. Yes, and as I was looking at the video, looking at their performance, it really reminds me of something we do have in the Chinese classical poetry, which is called 词.
Right.
It's actually a type of lyric writing created also for musical accompaniment. And so starting from the basic framework of 词, like you said earlier, it could get different versions. I mean, as many as you want.
Yeah, you are right, but it could be complicated for musician and artists because there is systematic formats and a strict rule to follow. So I don't know how can we understand the musical piece and meaning behind. So yeah, let's listen to Mr. Dhruv what say.
Just simple suggestion is, they don't need to learn, they don't need to understand, they don't need to, first read or write, okay, this is what they are doing, this is what they're doing. I just suggest them that whenever they come to the concert hall, as soon as the concert starts, they can just close their eyes and let the music do its job. Because this music is rich enough to do what it's supposed to do.
Let the music do its job. Just open your ears and let the music in. Just enjoy. Forget about the rules. Forget about the strict patterns, right?
And and definitely the music has no boundaries, and it is a common language we all speak. In fact, Mr. Dhruv Bedi, Vivakar Chaudhary, and Mr. Uma Shankar, they visited China many times, and they performed here, and people loved it so much. And I look forward that day when global pandemic would be eased and they come to China again and perform here.
Right, and also in the interview, Mr. Dhruv Bedi talked about his wish of going back to China again and perform for Chinese audiences again.
Right.
Let's know more from Mr. Dhruv Bedi.
If this pandemic would haven't been there, so I'm sure we all would be performing in China, and it would have been a great experience, I'm pretty sure about it. I will be bringing our traditional Indian classical music that we have learned, that has been passed on to us from like 300 years of tradition of generations, and I want to bring that purity of Indian classical music to China. I may also collaborate with some or the other Chinese musicians as well, and we can fix up a melody, or you just sit together, or just compose maybe something and play the same melody in our respective instruments, and let the audience enjoy.
And that was Mr. Dhruv Bedi, a master sitar player. And speaking of the instrument he just played, sitar, I think is perhaps one of the most representative instruments of Indian music. I actually came to know the instrument through Western rock music because it was used by the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, all the other famous bands from the US, from Europe. They use it in their music because they love the exotic sound of the instrument.
Yeah, definitely. And actually the use of sitar did carve a special niche for the instrument at that time. And the influence lingers on till today.
Right.
And what else made sitar so special and so popular? I think it's a flexible instrument and very easy to match with any different ethnic instrument around the world and fit any different genre of music. So yes, definitely. And listen to this one.
really surprised. This one is actually beyond my imagination.
Right.
I think everyone in China knows what the melody is because this is the melody we grew up listening to. It's called Jasmine Flower. Or maybe if they use the sitar to play the melody, we can put it as Raga Jasmine, right?
Definitely, it is Moli Hua is the most popular song in China,
Right.
and it's good to see this song played on sitar.
Yes.
It's really, and in fact, there are infinite possibilities when it comes for musical collaboration between China and India.
Yeah, and our online viewers really agree with us because they have been sending in comments through all platforms. There's one that Matri, hello there, he says, it's really nice and I love it. Let the music do its job, and such a soothing music for our ears. And we also have Ravindra Ramanujan. I don't know how to pronounce the name.
Yeah, Ravindran Ramanujan. Yeah.
I think he's from India, right? This
Yeah,
is
he's
an
from
Indian
India,
name.
yeah.
And let the music do its job. It's also,
Yeah.
everybody says, let's just immerse ourselves in the music because it's wonderful. We have so much more exciting performances coming up next, so you have to stay with us through all platforms of CGTN in both Chinese and English, as well as the China Plus Facebook page. Please leave us a comment continuously and give us a like.
Well, coming next, two brilliant musicians have been working together on the basis of one melodic framework. So, what does the final product look like? Now it's time to check it out. Let's welcome Mr. Saik Barua from India and Mr. Wei Cheong from China with their music title Serene Strings.
That was such a soft, nostalgic, and emotional tune. It's truly an incredible, beautiful melody and a fusion of different kind of instruments and exotic sounds. And Mr. Sayak actually plays the instrument of sarod, and Mr. Wei Chung plays sitar. How beautiful.
Very beautiful, and it's very deep and very peaceful, sort of calm. And it's a feeling that time is slowing down.
Right.
It gives me a peace of mind. It's so much mesmerizing.
Right.
Really, I feel I keep on listening.
We can keep on listening to it like forever.
And it's allow us to get rid of all the stress and tension.
Yes.
Actually, it's very peaceful music.
Yeah.
So nice.
Get rid of the chaos. It's just a pure land of music presented to us. And actually, if you take a closer look at the video, you might notice the two artists, they are not performing in the same room or under the same roof, because Wei Chung and Sayak, they have been collaborating on the musical piece over the past 2 months, and it's through online internet. How challenging is that?
Yeah, it's impressive, really. It's so amazing. Well, it's a new normal, and it's a reasonable solution under this global pandemic. So definitely, and actually I think creating a musical piece together like this could be challenges. So I don't know how they made it happen.
I talked to Sayak earlier, and his answer might solve some of your concerns.
Okay.
Yes, let's take a look.
Yeah.
What's in your mind when you first initiated a raga for your friend Wei Chung to develop?
Actually, Wei Chung, I know him from a very long time. When I stayed in China in Beijing for 3 years, from 2015, Wei Chung is very accustomed with the Indian music scenario. He learned sitar from maestros. He came to India, he learned sitar, and also he attended many big concerts here. So he knows the musical scenario very well. And while I was in Beijing, I often visited him in Tongzhou, his area. So I stayed there at his home, and we listened to many ragas and music together in the evening. Actually, he suggested me that we do on this rag, we do the music on this rag, and I agreed, because we spend so much time together, so listening to this raga. That's the reason.
Yeah. Wow, you guys, I didn't know that you guys know each other like several years ago. Wow,
yes,
that's amazing. But in fact, because you are in India and he's in China, communication must have been an issue for you guys. Are there any difficulties when you are doing this piece far away from each other?
Because we know each other for long. He knows what I like and I know what he likes. So on a personal level, there is not much difficulty. But the technical difficulty is like this video is, there is a different type of light. It's very difficult to match those two. Also, there is very subtle, small tonal changes of the instrument, of the playing instrument. If that happens, then he will face problem to match with his music and my music. Maybe if you later watch our video, you will notice that it's done in black and white.
Yes, but I think you guys managed to overcome the difficulties. And I think black and white matches greatly with your theme, like serene strings.
I hope so it matches.
For you, being an artist, what other types of music do you like to listen to, besides the one that you're very familiar with? And why do you choose that type of music?
I like all types of music. I listen to Western classical, I listen to Middle Eastern music, I listen to Oriental music, and I was really exposed to Chinese music while I was there for 3 years. So I attended many concerts there at the NCPA, and I also went to the Conservatory of Beijing Conservatory of Music and the Tianjin Conservatory of Music. And so I actually listen to all types of music, and I also like the folk music of any region, because folk music actually represents the people of that region. It has the characteristics of how people live from a particular region.
Yeah, I think different genres of music represent the culture behind it. So in your opinion, what role can music play in terms of promoting exchanges between different cultures and also emotional communication?
Actually, music is very powerful and sensitive medium, and I think music is the easiest way to connect to people, because it affects people directly. When you are listening to any kind of music, it affects you directly without anyone between. Music is very universal language. It doesn't need a in-between person. It's like directly from person to person, whether we can understand to each other by speaking or not. Music is, I think, the easiest way to connect on an emotional level very easily.
Yes. I really agree with you. I think music is the common language, and like you said, you have been here living in China. So what's the most impressive part of Chinese music to you? And what kind of Chinese musical instrument do you want to collaborate the most with, and why?
Chinese music is very unique. Question is very different from what we have in Indian music or the Western classical music, everything. And what I like most about Chinese music, it's like it represents many aspects of nature. And while I was there in China, I actually played with most of the instruments. I collaborated with Puchong, and I collaborated with Pipa, Arhu, and Yanchin. And because I had so many friends there, we really enjoyed a lot, and we discussed the ideas, and we exchanged our views on certain musical aspects and everything. But having said that, maybe in future I will get any opportunity to visit again China and maybe have deeper understanding of Chinese music. That would be really nice.
Yes, you are always very welcome here in China, and we look forward to more of your musical rendition. Thank you so much.
Wow, from the way he put it, I can tell he and Mr. Wei Chung are a good friend, and they are a good partner on music. Actually, they understand each other so much. Okay, let's see what Mr. Wei Chung responds.
我觉得这次能有这样的一个契机，让我们来尝试以这种方式进行合作，当然是一件非常让人兴奋的事情。同时，对我来说也是一个不小的挑战。首先，要想很好的去理解印度古典音乐，试图运用其中的一些元素与其他类型的音乐进行融合。其次，这次是以一种和我以往所熟悉的都不太一样的方式进行合作。我们没有办法面对面的进行直接的交流沟通，距离和语言上的限制，可能需要付出更多的时间和耐心去更好的了解对方的想法。
Well, obviously, Wei Chung is quite reserved, but I think he's truly talented, and we enjoyed the music so much. Everyone, you're watching CGTN Livestream Concert The Bridge. Stay with us through all platforms of CGTN in both Chinese and English, as well as the China Plus Facebook page. Please leave a comment and give us a like.
Okay, let's move forward. Next one on the program list is the performance with the instrument of Kuchang. It means Chinese sitar, brought to you by Miss Lucy Luan and Mr. He Khairan. There's something ingenious about their performance. They add in South Indian frame drum, kanjira.
Wow. That's also an example of how music instruments from two different places mix together. And also, to make it even more refreshing, they add in jazzy shuffle rhythm. Let's feel the great exuberance, refinement in their work, Drunken, Immortal.
Wow, the music is flowing in the air. That was Lucy Luan and Mr. He Khairan with their music Drunken Immortal. Well, I think this studio is soaked with fragrance of wine. I think, are you drunk now?
I do get a little tipsy, do you?
A little bit.
A little bit tipsy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a creative mix of two unique instruments. And I really want to hear more from Lucy Luan and He Khairan. They elaborated their thoughts on the musical piece. Let's take a look.
Hello, I'm He Khairan. Welcome to the bridge.
《首先，南印度铃鼓坎切拉它有它非常独特的音色，因为《酒狂》这首曲子呢，它里边有一些喝完酒啊特别不稳定的一种感觉的东西，所以那坎切拉我可以做出一些变音的这个效果，也可以把它想象成是 酒在酒壶里在晃的那种声音，我觉得这个是特别有意思的。T high 其实就是3个在重复的音乐段落，然后重复3遍，它既是一个结尾，也是一个开端。所以说，我觉得用在这里面呢，既然结合了南印度铃鼓，我觉得可以加一些印度音乐的元素在里面，这样会更有它的一些特点，跟中国的音乐结合在一起。我们现在经常看见这个卡洪这种乐器，就是木箱手鼓。它其实最早就是秘鲁的一些黑人，然后他们就是用这个来传递信号、来交流的一种方式。他们其实当时就不是乐器，他们就是拿一个普通的木箱在打。很多乐器其实它的起源都是从生活中来的，包括非洲鼓，其实我们看见的都是他们用来捣那个米啊这些用的那个东西，打穿了以后蒙上皮成为这个乐器。包括乌祖鼓，乌祖鼓其实就是尼日利亚的妇女她们顶着头上那个抬水的罐子，然后不小心摔漏了，他们会来拍，然后这个乐器来演奏。所以我觉得这个每个就包括瓶子、勺子都有它们各自的一个很有特点的音色，我觉得可以作为打击乐器来使用，而且非常有特点。我觉得音乐在我生活中其实是占有非常不可替代的一个地位，因为我首先是学音乐的，然后呢，我也非常热爱音乐，尤其对我这些乐器，我非常的热爱而且珍惜。而且我在学习一些，就比如印度呀，或者中东音乐呀，或者其他国家的一些乐器的时候，我会联系一些国外的老师，跟他们进行交流，跟他们进行学习。我觉得这个过程呢，首先是了解其他国家一些文化，而且同时学习一些技术，演奏的技术。我觉得这样是一个是文化交流，而且是对两国人民之间的了解也非常重要。
Hi, I'm Lucy Luan, and this is The Bridge. Well, I always loved world music, and when I was doing my first album, Poem of the Guzheng, I immediately thought about this 7-string Guqin piece called Jiu Kuang. Someone has the English name called Drunken Maniac. Very funny. But the rhythm is very unique, because normally the Chinese music is in 4/4 or 2/4, which is a very even beat. But Jiu Kuang is in 6 and 5. So technically, if you add those two, it's 11. It's such a unique rhythm. You couldn't find any other pieces in Chinese traditional music. So that's why when I first heard it, when I was very young, this is very different from other things I've heard. And then when I was doing my album, I was like, I have to find something to combine the world music with it. Because world music has like Indian music, like Middle East music, and their rhythm is fascinating. They have like 7 beats, 9 beats, even 11, like 19 beats. So this 11 beats could be a perfect example to use with world music. And then I talked to my percussionist friend, He Kairan. I thought, could you find something we could combine with and create a piece for both Chinese music and world music? And he thought about kanjira, which is a percussion instrument from India. And the sound, like dong dong dong, you could hear the tone change. And the sound just very similar like when you drink some wine. Chinese baijiu, you know, and he played it in the beginning. I thought, wow, that's perfect. And in the middle, we thought about some jazz rhythm. It's called shuffle. So it's kind of like you're walking on sand on the beach. You're not very stable, like you're a little bit uneven. So we used that rhythm as well in the middle, and I just improvised on it. It was also an idea to feel like the drunken atmosphere, but with different type of music, different genre of music. And then in the end, we used Indian Tihai. Tihai is a very traditional way of ending music in Indian music. Like they would have a pattern for it. Very simple, but very fascinating. Well, first of all, I do believe music is the universal language, and it's the language that everybody can understand without understanding the actual language. I think people are more in common than the differences about each other. So that's why I feel like music is the perfect way to communicate with other people. I formed a band called 大同, which is a concept from Confucius, like thousands of years ago. I performed with musicians from Israel and other countries, with different instruments like drums, like electronic guitar, like handpans. The main meaning of bands formed is because I want to show people that music is the way we are in common with, and this is the language we all can speak, no matter where you're from, whether you speak Chinese or not. When you hear the music, you understand it.
That was Lucy Luan and her Khairan sharing their understanding of music. Lucy has also worked with Mr. Sridhar Parsarthi from India. Mr. Sridhar is the country's leading virtuoso on percussion instrument. Like as before, our next performance is also another great example how musicians from afar combine hands and create a musical piece that is simply mesmerizing.
I am stunned at the improvised musical piece, which is called Xun in Chinese, or in English, Searching. And it is Lucy who's playing the Chinese zither or Chinese guzheng, and we have Sridhar on the percussion of Indian instrument called mridangam. And speaking of percussion, I think in Indian music, percussive art is one of the most sophisticated and complex ones in the world. I really want to learn more about the percussion of India, and luckily today we have a virtuoso of percussive art, and that is Mr. Rishabh Dar. He's joining us online right now. Let's invite him in.
Hi.
Hello, Mr. Rishabh. Can you hear me? Hello. Hi there.
Yes. Namaste.
Namaste.
To all.
Hi there. We are very honored to have you
Shay.
here.
Shay.
Yes. So in this live stream concert, The Bridge, we have listened to so many beautiful Indian instruments. There are sitars, sarod, also percussions like tabla, kanjira, mridangam. So tell us, what is it that you have with you right now?
Okay, this is a barrel-shaped drum. It's the North Indian version of a mridangam, which Panditji Sridharji played just now. And this is the North Indian version. It's called the pakhavaj. Pakhavaj. The meaning of pakhavaj is, the sound of the wind, basically.
So it is the oldest form of musical instruments in India, right?
This is the oldest North Indian classical drum.
And all the other drums and instruments, they came after the pakhavaj.
That's right. All the other percussions actually came after the pakhavaj.
Wow.
So it's said that in our Hindu mythology, Lord Shiva used to play this drum. So this is a version of the damru, which Lord Shiva used to play.
Wow. Can you play some of the instrument for us, the pakhavaj?
Sure. My pleasure. First of all, thanks a lot for bringing this beautiful program. Thanks to CGTN and thanks to Chaiti Arts Foundation, who has, given the opportunity to a lot of Indian musicians to have collaborated with so many Chinese great musicians.
Of course.
Let's play. Let's hear it, the pakhavaj.
I love the rhythm and the flow in it. It's beautiful.
Yes.
And wow, amazing. And I also know that in Indian percussive art, human voice can also be used in a similar way, right?
Yes, in a very promising and very challenging way for the others, for the rest of the world, because Indian rhythms, like the others where I was listening to the whole show, and like the others were also saying that Indian rhythms are the most sophisticated and the most structured ways that you can ever find.
Yeah.
So we speak our words, the words what we speak, we actually play it on the drum.
And also, another art form I learned in Indian music is conical. You can play conical together with a drum, together with other instruments?
With anything. Konakol actually is speaking of the rhythm, In south of India, it is called Konakol. In the North India, it is called the Bolparan.
Wow.
So the South Indian version of the Konakol, it can be mixed. It's like the modern day beatboxing.
Right.
It's like the modern day beatboxing. So it's like this, just an example.
Show us.
Like I take a like a steady groove, like on 4, a steady groove on 4.
A groove on 4.
It's like this, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Takadibi, Ajuna, Takadibi, Ajuna, Takadibi, Ajuna. Takadibi, Takajuna, Takadibi, Ajuna, Takadibi, Ajuna, Takadibi, Ajuna, Takadibi, Takajuna, Juna, Takadibi, Takadibi, Ajuna. I can increase the tempo a little bit like this.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Takadibi, Ajuna, Takadibi, Ajuna, Takadibi, Ajuna.
Wow. Well, I think we can do this forever because it's developing. Right. Wow, amazing. It's developing into even longer sentences, and it feels like you're playing with the alphabet.
Right.
And I think you have to, do you have to remember all the sayings, the lines? How does it work? Teach me how to do it.
You know, there are syllables, which are like the kind of syllables which I use is basically like a structure from 1 to 9, you know. So if you can think of logically 1 to 9, from that 1 to 9 you can actually create any number.
Right.
Be it 11, be it 13, be it 19, be it 99. So any number that we humanly can think of that can be a culmination and combination between 1 to 9. So like if I have to teach you, you know, first say 1.
1.
1 is ta.
Da.
T-A, ta.
1, da.
Then 2, ta. So 2 is ta-ka.
Da-ga.
Ta-ka.
Da-ga.
Then 3. Yes, 3 is ta-ki-te.
Da-ki-di.
Ta-ki-te. Te.
Da-ki-de.
Te. Yes,
De.
ta-ki-te.
Da-ki-de.
Then 4 is taka-di-mi.
Da-ka-di-mi.
Yeah, taka-di-mi.
Da-ka-di-mi.
Something like that, you know. So you can do it. You can have a practice like this, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is your steady rhythm. On that you can say like this: 1, 1, 1, 1, like ta, 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 ta. Ta ka ta ka ta ka ta ka ta ki te ta ki te ta ki te ta ki te ta ka di mi
Da ga di mi, da ga di mi, da ga di mi. Wow, that's amazing. So interesting to learn. I think you have to be really good at mathematics because there is a mathematical structure behind it, right?
Yeah, it's all mathematics. You know, like our heart is going on a beat. Right. So most of the people doesn't even realize or doesn't even think about it.
Right.
That it goes on a beat. So if you can figure out your own body's, you know, in terms of rhythmic mechanism, then you can figure out the rest of the things.
Yes. So I think you can practice conical anytime, anywhere, because it helps you concentrate, right?
Anywhere. It's a beautiful way of concentrating, focusing. And that's what, like, I'm here in the Netherlands right now, and I'm giving lectures about Konakol here in different universities. And I'm giving lectures in the Conservatory of Tilburg.
Right.
So, in fact, I have given lectures in China as well. You know, I've given lectures at the Conservatory of Music in Shanghai, also in Nanjing.
Wow, that's amazing.
So,
you have been in China and you're traveling around the world to promote Indian culture and especially the cultural exchanges between China and India. So now I really have a challenge for you because we also have similar things in Chinese culture. We have just read after me. So the rhythm goes like this: 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 吃葡萄不吐葡萄皮，不吃葡萄倒吐葡萄皮，吃葡萄不吐葡萄皮，不吃葡萄倒吐葡萄皮。Go ahead. That's
in my version.
Wow, great. We're so honored to have you with us here. Thank you so much for joining us.
An honor. It was really an honor. Thanks for the organizing this beautiful program. That and I'm sure the Chinese audience will love it. People, whoever sees it, will love it. Thanks for organizing it, the CGTN, and definitely thanks to Chaiti Arts Foundation for bringing the barriers of. I mean, bringing the
bring
two
everybody
cultures
together
beautifully.
Right, and we look
Thank
forward.
you so much.
Yeah, we look forward you to come back to China again, perhaps someday.
Yes,
in the
I will
future.
also. I will also very much.
Thank you so
much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow, that is amazing,
Definitely.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Akhil?
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to really need to practice counting the beats, and it helps us because there are mental and physical benefits. And the rhythm and the music is just amazing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So everyone, you are watching CGTN live stream concert, The Bridge, and you can stay with us through all platforms of China, China Plus, Facebook page, as well as all platforms of CGTN in both Chinese and English. And Akhil, I think we have been sitting here and listening to music and rhythm for a really long time. I think now perhaps it's time to do a little bit of body movements and dance to the rhythm.
And you know what? In Indian music, we have music also and dance also.
Right.
So without dance, Indian music is incomplete.
Right. Music and dance, they're always together.
Together, yes.
So the next performer I'm going to introduce to you, he is Mr. Jiang Wei, a very prominent and professional dancer and choreographer here in China. He's very experienced in stage performances and especially skillful in the style of Chinese classical dance and contemporary dance. We actually threw a challenge to him earlier. I think we're always giving challenges to our musicians, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And but I must say that they take challenge very well, and they did.
Yes,
so nicely.
They made it.
They made it, and they did very nice.
Yes. So for the dancer Jiang Wei, we actually asked him to create a dance move in accordance with a piece of Indian music. And that's the work he has done and returned to us. Let's take a look.
Wow, what a dance, what a marvelous choreography done by Mr. Jiang Wei.
Yeah.
Mohan, did you notice, without saying any word, he expressed so very nicely, so nice, and he expressed his emotions. So it's brilliant.
Yeah, and also he tells the story of monk Xuanzang
Yeah,
because you can see the movements like hands like this.
Right.
It's like a symbol of Buddhism.
Yes.
And also he has a lot of movements, kneeling and squatting on the floor. So he really put a lot of effort into creating this amazing work.
Definitely, and let me tell to viewers that monk Xuanzang is a well-known historical figure from China's Tang dynasty. He made a 17-year journey to bring Buddhist teaching from India to China.
And also, if you travel to cities like Xi'an in China, there are still museums and ancient architectures well preserved to commemorate his contributions.
Definitely.
And
yes.
also in the video, did you notice the music?
Yeah. Actually, we played earlier. It's called Serene strings.
Right.
Yeah, it's amazing, and it's amazing to see Chang Wei's interpretation of ancient story among Xuanzang, this one, by his music and by his dance. Let's see what Mr. Chang Wei said in his interview.
我是姜薇，一名古典舞舞者。第一次听到这个音乐的时候，我很深刻的一个感受是，感觉挺像玄奘西游的一个感觉。他历经万里去西天取经，所以当时编排的时候，基本的原型、形象原型就是按唐玄奘的原型来做的，设计了很多，比如说蹲行、跪行和坐卧。我个人感觉那个曲子和形象的贴合度，其实更多的在于它的前行的一个力量感吧，它不是说正常的去行走，因为它的环境，我是这样觉得的，因为古典舞、现代舞都是舞种，但是其实你抛开这个舞种的分别，其实都是人类一个身体的运动。古典舞中间很讲方位，讲一个子午相，子时和午时的一个交接处，交接处它会讲一个阴阳，比如说我这样侧对你，我这边为阳，这边为阴，所以它有一个合和一个开的关系。现代舞其实打破了这个局限吧，应该叫，就是现代主义可能都会打破这个局限，就没有那个所谓规矩。跟芭蕾比吧，你叫同类比，芭蕾很。规矩，不管是我们所谓的中方或者西方，它最后传达的一个最重要的都是人类的一个基本感受，比如说喜怒哀乐，我们说的人类共有的情绪都是这样的，人类所有的都是不喜欢战争的，就是看到悲伤的东西都会触发怜悯之情。在这个层面上来说，我觉得所有的文化就是它其实不存在中方或者西方，它其实都是一个交互交融的一个过程。
And that was dancer Jiang Wei. I think I really agree with him because he said what makes a good dance is not just how skillful you are, but how you can express your feelings and emotions through your body movements, through your gestures. And so in a sense, it really equals storytelling.
And this is the beauty of a storyteller, that with his or her emotions, so tells the character, who are you, like this. Yeah, I would like to introduce you another great dancer, a master of storyteller, Miss Qin Shanshan. Yeah, she is a prominent choreographer in China, has created his dance moves following the style of Bharatnatyam, a major form of Indian classical dance. Miss Qin started practicing Bharatnatyam at the age of 8. And from there, she grew to study extensively in the world of Indian art and culture. Her exceptional skills have impressed so many people, including the state leaders of India and China. Here is Qin Shanshan.
我是曾珊珊，一名婆罗多舞舞者。婆罗多舞蹈为什么被称为雅舞？就是因为它实际上有很多叙事、讲故事的部分。那它讲故事不是去用这个语言来讲，而是用它的手势语言、它的面部表情和它的身体语言来讲述特别有意思的故事。婆罗多舞蹈可以认为是印度古典舞中最古老也最具代表性的舞。今天我们看到的舞台上的婆罗多舞蹈，实际上是在近200年逐渐成型的。同样一个故事，它可以有不同的演绎，然后也可以有不同的拉格，就是不同的这个曲调，也可以用不同的节奏。所以同一个题材可以有千变万化的这种作品出来。
That was Ms. Jin Shanshan, and I think in the interview, both Jin Shanshan and Mr. Jiang Wei talk about how they use their body movements and gestures to express their feelings and emotions. So here's a challenge for you. Can you enough challenges?
No, it's difficult for me to do like this gesture and facial
because
expression.
It's professional.
They are professional, yeah, and she's a prominent choreographer. Mr. Jiang Wei is a good choreographer, and Ms. Jin Shanshan, they are awesome, and they're brilliant artists, yeah. And really, I'm so amazed to see her gesture and facial expression.
Right.
And it's truly awesome.
Yeah, and she demonstrated how to express our feelings through the dance moves. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
表达喜有很多方式，比如说，它可以表达惊喜。但这不只是表手势，它还要配合面部表情，它还可以配合一些故事情节。比如说，一个女孩子，她思念她的情人，但是一直都没有来，然后突然听到了敲门的声音，于是打开门惊喜的看到了她的爱人的到来，这样表示怒，用眼神来表达。或者说他的心像石头一样的愤怒，或者是双手怒，然后他还可以表达，或者是哀伤就有更多了，比如说他可以表达，如果表达一个人他受了情伤，为情所伤，那他可以表示爱神的箭射向了他，于是他遍体鳞伤。箭射伤了他的心，他的心都破碎了，甚至于可以乐。其实这个乐它应该是嬉戏，或者说是这种戏谑。所以，比如说，类似于这种。
Wow, that's a fantastic lesson for us. I've been learning a few tricks from
Have you learned
Shanshan.
something? Have you learned something?
Yeah, the little shy look.
Yeah, right.
Because we have similar things in Chinese traditional
Yes.
opera, like when a girl, she's shy and she meets her lover and she's trying to catch a glimpse, but she has tiny little hints in her eyes and
Right.
she's afraid to see the loved one. Yeah, but it's very similar in the Bharatnatyam dance, right?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, now we have a cursory knowledge of Indian classical dance, and please put them in your mind because it will help you to understand our next performance. It says a love story between two gods, Radha and Krishna. And Mohan, I would like to tell you, the love of Radha Krishna is timeless. It's eternal. We consider the romance of Krishna with Radha is pious. It's adorable. So here is Miss Jin Shanshan and her Indian partner Miss Parvati Datta.
जडित मणि दो खंघराजित झोंके देत झकोर झूलत राधे नवल किशोर झूलत राधे नवल किशोर झूलत घेरी घन गहरात घेरी घन गहरात बादल घटा उठी घन पवन मंद सुगंध डोलत पवन मंद सुगंध डोलत बरस रहे चहुओर झूलत राधे नवल किशोर झूलत मुकुटइत उत चंद्रिका इत श्याम उत तन मनहु घन पर तड़ित चमकत देख नाचत मोर झूलत राधे नवल किशोर झूलत राधे नवल किशोर झूलत राधे झूलत राधे झूलत राधे नवल किशोर
Wow, what a great coordination. This beautiful dance is a collaboration between Miss Chin Shanshan and her Indian friend Miss Parvati Datta. You know, Mohan, they designed their dance moves following the style of Bharatnatyam and Kathak.
Yeah, I can tell the difference because they have different body movements and they really contrast with each other. And it's such a beautiful love story that they are demonstrating us. And we have to point out the name of the dance is called Jula.
Yes.
So in Hindi language, it means swing,
Swing, right.
So in the story, the two lovers, they're playing on a swing happily. All of a sudden, there came falling rain and flashing lights, but they're still very happily together.
Definitely.
Yeah. So that's a symbol of romance, a symbol of love.
Yeah.
In the dance performance, and they did an amazing job. And actually, Miss Jin Shanshan, she has dedicated so much over the years to the cross-cultural exchanges between China and India, and she elaborated her thoughts in the interview.
我觉得哈，其实舞蹈这个词汇，有的时候在提到文化交流的时候，经常被人忽视。但是其实舞蹈这个词真的是很重要的。为什么这么说？就是说音乐，比如说歌曲，它有一个语言的障碍，对不对？那文学、戏剧，或者说甚至于美术，它都有它的这种特定的一个表达方式。但是舞蹈是一个最直接的一个抒发情感和被人接纳的这么一个方式，就是你的内心外化的一个表现。所以我认为舞蹈是一个最能够直接被别人接受、去感动，然后能够有震撼的这种力量的一个形式。所以我认为舞蹈应该是一个很好的去做一个文化沟通，然后交流的一个桥梁。
Thank you, Miss Chen, and we are very grateful for all the musicians and artists who build up the bridge for collaboration and understanding.
Rabindranath Tagore, the Indian polymath, once said, "The fish in the water is silent, the animal on the earth is noisy, and the bird in the air is singing. But man has in him the silence of the sea, the noise of the earth, and the music in the air. We had such a great time together today in the live stream concert, The Bridge, and it's truly a musical feast for our eyes and ears.
And we also want to thank you for joining us on The Bridge. And we hope you enjoyed our musical concert, this music and dance. And please come to India and China and explore and experience the rich culture and art and music. And I am sure your journey will be filled with so much surprises.
Yes, thank you for staying with us again. And we also want to express our gratitude toward the Chetty Arts Foundation. Thank you a lot for your support. We had so much for today. I think it's time we say goodbye to each other. Until we meet each other again next time, I'm Mo Han.
I'm Akhil Parashar.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.